Right, so I've welded the frame there, and I also put a blob over here because it looked like it was starting to fracture. Just strengthened the area, and that is much better, works. Just putting the diaphragm from the four-door cart in here. You just need a long screwdriver really, it's fairly straightforward, there's nothing difficult about it. Just stretching it in, and all I do is put my long screwdriver through the hoop, stretch it roughly into the position it needs to go, and then go over. Piece of piss. Right, what I'll do, I was looking at the armrest, and I think the armrest is probably going to be easier to trim when it's actually installed. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Spring. Boing, said Zebedee. Let's do that. And then that needs to go over there. How the fuck is that going to go over there? This looks like it's going to be a bit of a job. Like that. That's how that goes over there. That's a tough old spring, that. But I'm guessing it needs to be there. Right. Diaphragm on, seat on. I think seat base next. Seat base. That's seat back. Seat base. And it is literally just a reversal of the removal procedure. So we'll kind of position it roughly into place. Gloves are clean, good. Just get it so that it goes over and is kind of pushed down and into place. It is. Let's get this, just turn it around so you can actually see what the fuck it is I'm doing. There we go. Right, now get this trim here over the top. It's just a case, like I say, stretching it and then positioning it over the top. And we've got this big one around the front here. Now what this needs to do is go over the top and then flips down and over. There's a clip there I've forgotten. Bend that one out. Maybe that one wasn't even attached. That goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. Like that. There we are. That's all loosely in place. Clip again. Missed that one. And that one goes down there. What I'll do is I'll widen these clips on the edge piece out just to make it easy to install, and then I can crimp them closed in a second. Nice coffee. Coffee. No coffee, no working. Right, that goes in there. That goes in there. Seat's making a bid for freedom. And that one goes down there. Right, now that is all roughly in place and tidy around the edges. Should have cleaned the fucking cardboard up for that, shouldn't I? Fluff and Portuguese spider's webs. So what I'll do is probably use that actually, that'll work. If I get a piece of cardboard, any piece of cardboard will do. What have we got over here? Cardboard on the outside. Just clamp everything together. I'm sure this is how the factory does it. Maybe they don't, I don't know. Right, the next thing we need to do is put the armrest on. That's obviously the outside, so let's turn it around and do this mounting over here. So that's just a piece of padding, that can come out, we don't need that. Oh, he's fallen out. And the armrest goes on. You see the actual moulding there is for it. And what you basically find now, let's come in for a closer look. The problem you're going to have, top bolt, no issue at all. The bottom bolt actually interferes with the tilt mechanism. So what I have to do is put a tiny nut in between there, or a spire clip, or something along those lines to hold the bottom of the seat belt. Sorry, of the seat belt, of the armrest. You don't know what you're talking about sometimes, Richard, do you? Right, so I just need a nut and a bolt, really. Whoopsie. The washer. Now, what I have to do with this armrest, there's a plate here. It's welded to the frame, but it's really not kind of needed for anything. So what I have to do here is find a nice big fat washer from my box of assorted washers that wedges in there. I'll probably do it. And then a nut and a bolt goes right through. Oh, where's the original bolt? I might find a nut that goes onto that. What's that? Might be metric. More likely to be UNF, because Land Rover. But it's metric. Right, okay, so we use the original bolt and the metric nut. So that goes through, big fat washer. Goes into, no, so that's not fat enough, that washer. Needs to be a fatter washer than that. Oh, what about that big bastard? That would do it. And the bolt even goes through the middle of it. Good Lord. Yes, that'll do. I'll put the bolt in. Just walking the washer so that it, long screwdriver. Oh crap. Walk the washer in so that the bolt actually goes through the middle of it. There he goes. And it's through. Right, so that's top bolt easy. Piece of piss. Screw that one up. Because there's no threaded position on the two-door frame, but the holes are all there, so it really doesn't, you know, it's nothing to panic about. I just need that 1/2 inch rat shit spanner that I had just now after coffee. That's nice coffee there. What have I done with the 1/2 inch rat shit spanner? Oh, for fuck's sake, Richard. Lose your arse if it wasn't attached, wouldn't you? You must have put it away. Now, to be honest, like that, just with one bolt holding it, bearing in mind I need to adjust it up. Diaphragm just took a little bid for freedom there. Just adjust the armrest up. It actually would hold in that position if I did this bolt up tight, but I'm just a bit nervous about kind of this bottom fixing. So I'll do the top bolt up, and then I'm going to find our little spire clips. My phone's going. I must apologise to you folk who've got Samsung phones, and every time you hear that noise on one of my videos, you reach for your phone thinking, what on earth is going on? No, it's my phone. Sorry, chaps. Right. So let's bring you in. See what it is I've been doing. Right, okay. There's the bolts. You can see the bolts. There's the big washer that I put in. Yeah. And the problem I've now got is for the bottom fixing for now, which is too close. There's the hole on the other side. It's too close to this mechanism here, which is the slider for the seat recline, for the seat tip, I should say, not recline. Seat tip. Okay, so that's why I tend to use a spire clip, wedge a spire clip or something in there. I'll put a nut and bolt through. All I used was one of these kind of spire nut things. I buy these by the 100. They're really quite useful. They come with a spire clip. Put it on one side, wedge the spire clip in between the two panels there, and the screw is far enough in to clear the rest of it. So happy with that. I'll put the back cover on next, I think. The other thing I need to do with the back cover is obviously I need to cut where that goes through. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right, let's finish the seat on. So when I'm putting the back cover on, I'm going to go obviously work the foam over these two parts, then drop the cover down over the seat. Exactly in a reverse of the taking it apart process. The only thing that you don't want to forget is the kind of lumbar foam, this bit of loose foam that goes in there, bolt, like that. Okay, now, well, we've had a bit of rodent damage on this seat, but it's only minor, tiny little bits here and there. Seat back is fine. So, now what basically happens is, on the foam, there's a slot in the foam, that needs to go, obviously, here, but also we need to make sure the foam itself goes properly over these two bungs at the back here. Almost there. That's there. That's that one. A lot easier putting them on than it is taking them off. Foam squeaky, horrible noise there. Okay, that's that one. That's good. What I will need to do, of course, is to cut the foam here for where the lever needs to go through. Now, looking at the old foam, obviously this only applies if you've got a poodle. Looking at the old foam, you can see there's the flap, and they've cut an oblong out of it, but also they've cut a load of crap out of in here as well. It's all sliced out. So I'm going to do exactly the same. There's that plate there, and I just needed to trim this piece of foam on the seat back in order to fit around that. That's all I've done. Back. see. Turn this around to its side. So now, really, it's just a case of feeding the foam and the fabric onto the seats. Pushing that right underneath. That's all of that on, I think, largely. Just needs to just make sure that it all kind of goes in exactly where it needs to go. I know that's just fucking, what does that mean, Richard? What on earth are you talking about? Ah, dear. Push that all through there. Now, the other thing I'm going to need to do here is cut a slot for the lever. So what I do first and foremost, push the foam back as far as it needs to go. In fact, what we could do here, we clip it on, because then we know we've got the seat back in the right place. There's the lever there, you see. This side as well. Obviously, we've got the arm. It goes on. We've got this other piece here, which comes around. Now, we do need to still do the bottom piece down here, the loop bit. But what I'll do first and foremost, I will put the top clip on. That's all exactly how I want it to be. That actually down there a little bit. I'm just going to cut a slot here so that I'm not stretching the fabric any more than I have to be for the lever. Now we end up having to cut a little bit more out than that, but that's kind of roughly where it needs to be at the moment. Now, tilting forwards, I've got the bottom piece here, and there are a couple of flaps that are the bits that had the clips on them, the rusty clips. We're going to deal with those in a second. That's on, and trap my finger, trap my glove more like. That's on. Now, when it comes to these corner bits, let's do this one, because this one is not affected. We've got these two metal lugs down here, and all I really need to do is make sure that the fabric is in there and pulled around, but not so that it's creased. Let me put the seat aside, it might be a little bit easier. Like that. Now, what I've had to do in the past, just push that in there with a chisel. There's the clip. Let's open it up a little bit more. There he goes. And there goes the chisel. And up in there. That's it. That's exactly how I want them. So that goes up there. Well, my little bit of cardboard I was using earlier on. There it is. Nice. Let's do the other side now. There is some trimming I need to do around here before the side pieces fit, and I'll show you what that is in a second as well. In fact, let's do that side piece now. Now, on the two-door ones, you have the screw on the back here. Yeah, that was one screw. There's also a screw at the top up here. You saw me fiddling around with that. That's the wrong side. This is the side I want. So that goes. The only thing is tilt the seat back. So that piece goes up there, that piece goes up there, that piece goes down there. Now what I've had to do, knife which I had less than 2 minutes ago, cut along here about 2 or 3 centimetres, maybe a centimetre. I can't remember exactly. There is this screw hole there, and I'm going to tuck that piece underneath because I don't need that bit. There's the screw hole. Couple of screws. And coffee. Mark there as well. Let's go over and go and get some shampoo on these seats. And trim this. So basically we've got that up there. It's not gone, I've not cut it far enough yet. It wants to go a wee bit further, isn't it? And the reason for this is that the cover for the 4-door doesn't have, or sorry, the 2-door seat doesn't have quite such a bulky area here. So it doesn't actually need the excess trim. That's there, and screw hole lines up, so let's put the screw in. Just put that screw in just to hold it. That. Push that all in there. It's tidy. Find the plunger. Find the torch. Ooh, shine the torch in your eyes so you can't see anything ever. Again, push that down. We've got another screw on the back here now, which is there. Obviously these pieces came off these seats, so the screw holes are in exactly the right bloody places. That's now we've got the back piece to put on still, but let's mess around next with the other side of this other corner. That's beautiful. Now there is kind of this lump of fabric here. I didn't really know what to do with it last time. Kind of just drag it up. We just, I haven't put this piece on yet, but let's just turn upside down. So what I'm talking about is this flap here that had the rusty kind of clips on it. I just pulled it up here as far as I could and then clipped it on. Have I got a clip? I have got a clip. It's going to be a rusty clip. There we are. It seems to hold it. It's exactly what I did with the other one. on. Almost ready to install this seat. Again. Next, we're going to get this lot sorted out here. So in here I've got 2 screws, which I want this plate to go onto. Let's cut this slot a little bit more. Get rid of these fucking gloves. Done. Best of those, that one. Knife, torchy. Where's the screws? A fair bit higher than that, sis. And it's a fair bit higher than that. Right, there's one of the screw holes I can see. What I'll do is I will just cut a little slot out. It looks brutal, it's not really. These I don't know which screws it was that held this thing on. Was it normal panhead screws? You've got some nice black head panhead screws here, which aren't quite so fucked. Put the other one on there. Let's line this one up. Yes. And that goes on there. Let's take that bit off. That one wants to go through to there. Right, we're going to need to cut a bit more fabric off here because I can see the fabric through the slots. On. Perfect. So, what we really want to do, was this the one we were going to use? Yes, it was, because the other one was torn. This one's got oil on it, but the other one's torn. Drill them. Cut the arse. Drill bits. punched the fucking drill hole there. What do I do with all the screws? Oh, for Pete's sake. They're underneath there. Well, I found one. That I have. Pulled the fabric a tiny bit. It's okay. Screw in. This one doesn't go able to go tight, by the way. Because you're going to have to push the fabric back underneath the corners. Right. And then it's got a bit of tape over the end of a paint scraper. It seems to do quite a good job of encouraging fabrics to go back in. That bit up there is just a bit too fat to go in. I might of course have done the screw up just a smeg too tight. No, it's good. There we are. Fabric back in. Other side, and then we're done. Put the seat back in. Hold it in the same place, then you can guarantee to get the screw in. That one, clearly. This one of these has just been completely bleached by the sun. That's obviously the side nearest the glass. Yeah, that one's shagged out, that one isn't. Put him back in the car now, I think. Well, I hope that was useful.